Are you looking for peace of mind at your doorstep? Look no further. With the Blink Video Doorbell, your home's entrance is always within your control. Check out the link in the video description to learn more and get your Blink Video Doorbell on Amazon. Your home is in your hands.
Donald Trump's running mate in his campaign for U.S. president is the subject of a controversial Netflix film that the platform hoped would be a well-regarded Oscar hopeful, before it was critically savaged. The movie, developed from 39-year-old J.D. Vance's own memoir, may have been a glossy Netflix original film stuffed with stars and helmed by a legendary director. But Hillbilly Elegy was slated as one of the worst movies of 2020, and sits on a miserable 25% Rotten Tomatoes score. However, just hours after Trump announced that Vance was his pick as the Republican nominee for vice president, the film shot up the streaming platform's charts in the U.S. to number 6. Vance is an Iraq veteran and self-proclaimed hillbilly, who grew up in poverty in America's Rust Belt before attending Yale Law School and later working as a venture capitalist. He became a senator for Ohio in 2022, the first to serve for the state without previous government experience in nearly 50 years. The memoir he published about his deprived upbringing in rural Ohio in 2016 is called Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of a family and culture in crisis, and was an instant hit. To view this video, please enable JavaScript, and consider upgrading to a web browser that supports HTML5 video. The New York Times bestseller covered his troubled childhood, marred by poverty, abuse and his mother's drug addiction, with the politician and his sister mainly raised by his grandmother and grandfather, who also struggled with alcoholism. They had moved from the Appalachian region, one of the poorest in the United States. Netflix leapt on purchasing the popular book's rights in 2019, reportedly paying $45 million for them, according to Deadline. Award-winning director Ron Howard, who claimed Oscars for his work on A Beautiful Mind, as well as nominations for Frost/Nixon, joined the movie, which was adapted for the screen by The Shape of Water's Best Screenplay Oscar nominee Vanessa Taylor. The cast was led by Amy Adams as Vance's mother Bev and Glenn Close as his grandmother Mama, both esteemed actresses and multiple-time Oscar nominees. Gabriel Basso, best known for Netflix series The Night Agent, played the older Vance and Owen Astolos the younger version, supported by Frida Pinto, Haley Bennett and Bo Hopkins. However, despite the promise of the material, cast and creatives, Hillbilly Elegy was poorly received, with Inside Hook asking bluntly in its review, "Why did Amy Adams and Glenn Close choose to do such a bad movie?" It was also panned for unintentionally being the most laughable movie of 2020, flavorless and one of the worst movies of the year. "It's a prestige slog, full of flat, sneering caricatures," complained The Observer in its 2-star review, while Entertainment Weekly observed, "Howard thinks he's making an inspirational tale. He doesn't realize it's an American horror story." The Independent also described it as a sickeningly irresponsible parade of death and despair in its 1-star drubbing. Hillbilly Elegy did manage to score 2 Oscar nominations nonetheless, for makeup and hairstyling and for Close as Best Supporting Actress, her 8th Academy Award nod, with no wins so far. However, she also got a Razzie nomination for it too. Audiences were also more split in their view on the film, with some proclaiming it awful and saying they could not even finish it, while others raved about it, dubbing it heartwarming and inspiring. Viewership of Hillbilly Elegy also increased by a staggering 1,179% on Netflix compared to the day before Vance's bid to become VP was announced, according to research from Luminate. It was watched for 19.2 million minutes on Monday, compared to just 1.5 million minutes on Sunday. This is an excellent biopic. A great story of determination and overcoming obstacles to succeed, enthused Steve W. on Rotten Tomatoes, adding to the review aggregator's audience score of an impressive 82% with his 5-star rating. "I guess if you want to know if a movie will be good or not, you should look at the critics' reviews. The lower the score, the better the movie, and this movie is wonderful," sniped Greg C., referring to the vast difference of opinion. "Glenn Close was very good, and the rest of the actors were awesome. Great story, good message, and a wonderful look inside the life of J.D. Vance. Today, Vance is just a matter of